alam naman natin na napakalaki ng epekto ng weather sa hindi lang sa pagiging isang guro, sa ganun din sa pag-aaral, at saka doon din sa lahat ng mga aspeto ng tao. Diba? Kasi kapag ang tag-ulan, syempre, ano mangyayari? So, magsusuot tayo ng appropriate doon sa weather. Tapos kapag naman tag-araw, diba, somehow naapektuhan tayo kasi minsan mahirap magturo, mainit, tapos kulog tayo doon sa classroom. So, malaki yung impact ng weather sa akin as a teacher.
When you looked outside your home on any particular day, whether up in the sky, a little above the horizon, or just in the immediate surroundings, you could thus far define, at the very least, what is meant by weather. The howling of the dry wind, the heavy pouring of the clamorous rain, and the burning of the sun on the already scorched earth are mostly the scenarios, acquiring one of its formal definitions as the state of the atmosphere with respect to factors like wind, temperature, cloudiness, moisture, and pressure. The Philippine climate can be categorized into two primary seasons using temperature and rainfall as basis. The dry season lasting from December to May, and the wet season from June to November. As a result, we are experiencing sunny, rainy, windy, and cloudy days that do not last that long and are sometimes unpredictable. These atmospheric conditions then have an influence on all of our activities throughout the course of the whole year, from carrying out basic household chores to engaging in strenuous labor that provides for our subsistence, all are directed by whether the atmospheric condition is favorable or not. For instance, the moment of continuous rain is an unfortunate occasion for students, as heavy rainfall could already make various streets flooded, making it more difficult for them to go to school in the first place. On a sunny and windy day, however, we are likely to see Filipino kids playing gracefully, oblivious to the scorching sun and the freezing wind. In such a time as well, vendors may also be observed trying to make money because that is often the best time for them to sell goods and provide services to the public. Among them is Kuya Ricky, a street food vendor just outside the college whom we always see every afternoon. And just like everybody else, he is diligent in making money, further admitting that weather is actually one of the major factors that influences his kind of work.
Malaki po dito sa akin. Malaki po pagkaiba. Kasi sa paggawan, di umulan. Bakit malakikita pag umulan? Pag umulan, alapok makikita namin dito. Alapok sa bumibili. Minsan po, pag mahina po yung ulan, lumalabas po ako. Pero pag malakas, hindi na po talaga obran.
The effectiveness of agricultural endeavors is also greatly influenced by the weather. For the most part, the weather is the only source of water and energy needed for field crops to survive. The yields of desired crops gradually drop as a result of rising temperatures, which also promotes the growth of weeds and pests. Alterations in precipitation patterns raise the risk of both short-term crop failures and long-term output losses. In other words, it is believed that timely rainfall is essential for the development and production of food crops. Climate change is affecting rainfall, causing it to be insufficient in some regions and excessive in others, disrupting conventional farming cycles. In order for us to better understand this, we have decided to go to Barangay Umpukan, San Ildefonso, Bulacan, for a farmer's perception regarding this concern. what we have learned is a discouraging truth about weather's influences on daily lives, particularly those of farmers.
Start talaga ng June. Depende pa rin sa panahon. Wala pang ulan ng June. Maalis pa yan ng July. Depende pa rin. Marami rin problema. Insekto, mga sakit ng halaman, at saka kapag walang ulan o kapag kasobra sa ulan. Problema rin yun. Oo, malaki na pagkakaiba ng weather condition ngayon. Ngayon, malalakas ng bagyo. Iba weather condition ngayon eh. November na, kumukulog pa eh. Dati, Mayo lang ang kulog, di ba? Oo, tsaka paiba-iba na panahon. Parang mas predictable ang weather noon para yun. Makaka-timing ka talaga ng anin. Ngayon ay parang manghuhula sa climate o ng mangyayari. Malaking epekto ng weather. Kasi sa farming, dyan ka nakabase kung kailan ka dapat magtanim. Nakadepende ka sa weather. Kasi tulad sa gulay, maraming kompetensya sa gulay. Maraming gulay din. Kapag alam kung may bagyo, di ba, kumagi ng malakas, maraming lapi sa alas going north or going south. Tinatimingan ko rin yan ng tanim kasi kapag ang panin nila ay nasira, may possibility na tumaas naman ang presyo ng pananim na yun. Yun naman ang itatanim ko.
Mr. Andy de Guzman is just one of the Filipino farmers who might have the same thoughts and observations about these changes in the weather patterns, which are undoubtedly affecting their farming activities and thus their very source of income. But what about from the perspective and experiences of a student?
Taga gitnang bukid kasi kami, nararanasan ko doon tuwing sobra yung tag-init, nagbibitak-bitak yung lupa. Makikita mo naman yan kapag dinadaanan. Tapos kapag umuulan, syempre gitnang bukid yon, may mga pumapasa na mga gamit pang sa palay. E then nahuhukay lalo yung daanan. Tapos kapag umuulan, napupuno yun ng tubig. Sa mababang part ng bahay namin, napupuno yun ng tubig, pero hindi inabot yung bahay namin. Napupuno yun ng tubig, tapos nahirapan kami dumaan, lalo na pag malakas yung ulan, pag may bagyo. Tapos hindi kami makalabas, hindi kami makapunta sa tindahan kasi nga baha.
Mix Amerigo Ramos, who has been teaching for 13 years, explained the effects of weather at the beginning of this documentary. But the question is, are there any significant changes she has observed in terms of weather for more than a decade in the teaching profession?
Yes, I can say talaga na merong pagbabago kasi during my first years of teaching, medyo malamig. Tsaka parang medyo komportable ako na magturo. Imagine mo nung nandun ako sa first year of teaching ko, nasa private school ako and I've been teaching 8 subjects. Pero at the end of the day, hindi ko nararamdaman na hulas ako. Hindi ko nararamdaman yung discomfort. Lalo na kapag mga summertime, yung mga maiinit na panahon. Pero nowadays kapag nagkakaroon ako ng discussion during second sem na magpo-fall sa January hanggang May, nakakaramdam ako ng sobrang init. Kahit na during the burn months, iba alam natin na dapat malamig na lang. Pero ramdam talaga natin yung change dun sa weather pattern, pati dun sa climate crisis. Well, as an environmental scientist and an environmental science teacher, masasabi ko talaga na napakalaki ng factor yung tinatawag natin anthropogenic activities o yung human activities. Because of the activities na ginagawa ng mga tao, like for example, yung paglalabas natin ng mga greenhouse gases, mga pollution, napakalaki ng epekto nito kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng global warming. At yung global warming na yun, nagre-resulta siya dun sa tinatawag natin climate change.
Clearly, it isn't just the state of the atmosphere for a couple of days that affects our very lives as Filipinos. as the weather itself could also change depending on the global conditions of the climate. It has a chain effect in which we, the people, would suffer in the long run if we did not realize where we went wrong in treating the earth in general. We have heard their voices, their perceptions, and their experiences regarding the changes in the weather pattern and its influences on their daily lives. Although there are beautiful circumstances where weather plays a big part, the alarming counterparts are just hiding in plain sight. A drizzle of truth that is yet to be fatal.
Weather is a survival determiner. Every day of our lives, we may encounter a variety of weather conditions, including what we ought to wear, how we should get around, and how we will survive. However, it may have an implication on our health issues. Weather patterns can cause diseases in humans. Our generation needs to be educated on how to deal with various weather conditions. Preparedness will mitigate the severity of the situation.
Climate change, the greatest storm on the lungs of Earth, and humans causing it. But we can prevent it. We need to work together, stop procrastinating, and act before it's too late.
When there is a storm, we sometimes wait the Earth's protection and hoping that it would not cause any bad condition. Now it is time for us to pay back. Let us provide our environment a solution, not pollution. This is our sign to take an action to help our Mother Earth for the sake of the next generation.
With all the disasters and calamity, we know who are responsible. Let us be a society that would stand for the improvement of our climate. Always embrace the challenge of change. And instead of sustainability, why not we thrive?
The importance of being aware of what is happening in our weather that affects the lives of every Filipino is the key to saving Mother Earth from vanishing. Anyone can be a hero by saving and conserving Mother Earth for a better place to live in. Start to practice and save energy.
The weather is like tears of sweetness or sadness. Even though it rains or shines, people learn to adjust for their comfort and safety. But the weather seems to send us signs as it continues to be more unpredictable. Can we still adjust to its changes? We as citizens of this world must not just adjust but also take action to save our planet.
Weather affects us in a huge number of ways that damage our source of income and availability and kind of food we eat.
Life is like a weather, while our decisions and actions is the earth. Everything we do affects our lives. In short, we should be taking care of the earth to have a better weather as we take care of our decisions and actions to attain a better life.
Weather has an immense effect to our daily lives. No matter who we are and no matter what we are doing, weather can affect us. But nowadays, weather has gone extremely wild. Strong typhoon there, a sudden pour rain here, and such as. What will happen with the next generation depends on us. It is never too late to take an action and save our Mother Earth who has been saving and taking care of us since day one.
As a part of family of farmers, I can really say that it has a big impact on every farmer's daily lives. Too much rain can cause flooding, which can wash away crops, while too little rain can cause crop failure due to drought. It's just sad to think that the weather is sometimes our friend and sometimes our enemy.
Climate change poses a significant threat not only to human health but also to animal and plant health. Climate impact have been and are taking a toll on health. Through air pollution, disease outbreaks, extreme weather events, forced relocation, stress on mental health.
The weather changes because of climate change, and so should we. As future science teachers, we must become the agent of change to influence the youth to take more action to this global problem. If we don't choose to act now, nature will act upon us. Let's not wait for the worst to come. Awareness and prevention should be our immediate action.
The weather is a main part of many aspects. The weather has a both good and bad effects on our lives. We need a balance to make our daily life go well. Let's be thankful because we are experiencing a weather that helps us, especially in our agriculture industry. All we have to do is not abuse the natural resources, so that the returns will be good for us and we will not experience a severe climate change.
We, humans, are the ones who have the most benefits from the effects of weathering. But we should not settle for what we already know. We should seek for something that will help to protect the source of our needs and prevent human activities from being the cause of its deterioration.
Most of our lives depend on weather condition, and whatever we do in our environment reflects on what will be the condition of our weather. So let's always think wisely on what we should and should not do, because whatever you do will come back to you. If you want a healthy life, make your environment healthy too.
There is no doubt that climate change is a major issue that has to be addressed. It deserves to be our top priority because it poses the biggest threat to all species that exist on our planet. As a student, we should take action to address the issue by educating youth about how climate change affects both our environment and our daily lives. Keep in mind that even the smallest action can have a significant impact on the future.
Climate change has many effects on our lives, and its major cause is human activities. That's why, let's start taking care of our Mother Earth now by having awareness and discipline so that we may prevent the bad effects of climate change that we are experiencing.
We are the cause of climate change. We should also be the ones to initiate the action of change. Start with ourselves, pass the message, and influence others. Be consistent, be resilient, and prove ourselves being the protector and not the destructor.
Weather deals into different changes. That's why human faces different struggle. At the end of the day, it is our social responsibility. We must owe to do. As a youth, I think they start eating ourselves the word appreciate. Appreciate the environment. Don't use it in a improper way.
Due to lack of people's awareness, we are gradually destroying our mother nature. If we are trying to conserve all the limited resources we have right now, we will have a better life, a better tomorrow, and a better future. And if we are stormed by problems in our life, don't hesitate to ask our Lord for the guidance.
Weather can change every day. I believe that human activities are the main cause of weather change. We all need to come together as a whole to treat our planet better, protect and sustain a healthy environment as it is always associated with changes in the weather pattern.
Weather affects everyone and everything. Think about the causes of the weather for the affected people who don't have proper shelter, places that are always flooded due to heavy rains. As a future educator, I encourage you to look at the things you do on a daily basis and think about how they are affected by the weather and climate. We all know we have many things can do and something to save nature to prevent disaster. Let's do it.
Life is like a changing patterns of weather. We may experience a wheel of emotions throughout our journey. We just have to go with the flow of the ever-changing patterns of it. If you care about your life, you must care about the earth where you live in.
Climate change can change our lives, so we must start to conserve and protect our earth. The changes of our weather can affect of our life. We cannot see, but it already happened to us. The economic and life of people can change it. It already says that it because of the weather and a simple human being, we don't have idea that is happened because of our doing in our environment, that we are not protecting and appreciate what we have.
Climate and weather is very important to us as a human being because our action and survival depends on the climate and weather. For me, as a student and future educators, we see the effect of climate change not only in our country, so we need to give not only a reaction on these worldwide problems, but we need to give an action.
Changes in weather have a big impact to our daily lives, especially to our farmers. And I believe that some actions that we do to harm environment will turn back bigger than we undertake. So we must protect, conserve, and learn for us to attain a better earth.